One of the accusations of the Ekiti State chapter of the APC against Engineer Kayode Ojo is that he has not participated in APC activities. That's the party's activities for the last 3 years.
Right, right. Is that an excuse? That he hasn't participated in party activities or whatever, that he hasn't joined them to steal money. Is that what they are saying? He didn't come and join them to share money and steal money and mismanage the place. Because the ones that have joined them, what came out of it? The ones that supported the party, that have done all these things. Is that what we're talking about? We're talking about the transformation and how it is going to move forward. They're talking about their party. Isn't that how selfish they are? That's like a very selfish, self-centered thing. They're basically saying, Kayode Ojo, you have not planted money, you have not given us money, you have not done all these things in this party. So because of that, we're not going to let you run. Are they the ones to select the people, or is it democracy that's going to select the people? Democracy was not meant to be decided by a few emperors sitting there and say, oh, now we decide because you have not participated. How much have we enjoyed? Is that what democracy is about? That's not what democracy is about. Democracy is about government for the people, by the people, which means they elect their leader. And the people want to elect their leader. There's some Pharisees and Sadducees. It's reminding me of when Jesus came out there and there were Pharisees and Sadducees running the temple. And Jesus had to come there with a stick and scatter them. This is reminding me of them because all these people, they've got into power drunk. They've forgotten how they got there. This is the same process that got them there. This is the same process that got them there. There were certain governors that were not even from PDP, that didn't even contribute to a pin to PDP. But when they were popular and people saw them, that this is the people, someone that people want, Obasanjo himself raised the person's hand up and said, this is the guy. Nobody said then that this guy has not contributed anything to party or whatever. So when did we start that in our state? And what chance have they given Engineer Kayode Ojo to even get close to the party? They've been running that thing like a faction for like the last, I don't know how many years. I'm sorry to say, Governor Fayemi was the kind of person, if you're not from his clan, he won't let you get close to him. And that's how he ran his government. So how are you going to say he never participated in the party? Did you give him a chance to participate in the party? Me now, as an Ekiti person, if I decide I want to come and run for something tomorrow, are they going to say I didn't participate in the party? In my own father's land, what came first? Is it Ekiti or APC? Ekiti will outlive APC. Ekiti will outlive PDP. What are they talking about? Ekiti has been here before us, he will be here after us.
He was also accused of taking the party to court against all entities.
Yeah, so he's accused of trying to exercise his legal right. Right? So if somebody feels that he's not been taken care of in the party, or party has not been treating him well, we have a system of government. There are three arms of government: executive, legislative, and judiciary. And you are trying to use the judiciary to right the wrong. How is that an offense? He has not tried to, I mean, his alternative, he could have tried to burn the party house down. He could have sent thugs there to come and beat them up. He didn't do that. He went to court, which is legal in Nigeria. That is a legal process. How can somebody use something that is a legal process that you are trying to use to right your wrong, something that was wronged against you? How can somebody say that because of that they're going to use that to disqualify you? This is all called corporal bullying. Engineer Kayode Ojo is exercising his right as an Ekiti person, as a party person, and even foremost as a Nigerian. And those are not grounds for the disqualification when you are trying to exercise your right as a citizen. That is when people do this when they're trying to bully you. I use the word bully with with a lot of care. They're trying to bully you into a position because they cannot look for things they can use against you. If you feel aggrieved in the party and you went to court to go and seek redress, how can that be used against you that you're being anti-party? Aren't you trying to say that, oh, I want to be part of this party and this is how this party has wronged me and I want you to be corrected? And the judge will rule. He could rule in your favor, can rule against you. That is the law of Nigeria. We need to stop protecting illegality. We need to stop protecting illegality.
when you look at the fact that the disqualification wasn't done in Ekiti, where
Yes,
you could say, oh, the Ekiti chapter of the APC used their power against him.
right,
But it was done at the
right,
national level. Could that
right.
disqualification not be excused as a result of where it happened? This is the national headquarters of their party.
Well, the disqualification being done at the national level just proves that it was manipulated by people outside of the state. In other words, they had to go and meet people that really probably don't know what's going on in the state and try to manipulate them to get the result they want. Because they know if they came to APC, they would not be able to get that kind of answer. So they would rather go and meet people at the national level that are not from Ekiti, that don't know what's going on in Ekiti, tell them lies, induce them with cash, and try to get the result they want. And these people at the national level, I don't know, the way Nigeria functions is sad because these people, they all function on money that coming from the side and all these things. So as long as they've given them money, they will do whatever they want. But they don't realize that what they're trying to do will turn Ekiti into some kind of war zone because the people are not going to put up with another 4 years of unhappiness like they have for the last 4 years. I've spoke with people on the streets. They don't want this. They don't want this. They don't want another 3, 4 years. Let them choose. Let them choose. Stop manipulating the party. This same democracy is what got you there. Don't use it to disqualify other people because I believe what goes around will come around.
This program intends to bear the torch of the Ekiti integrity, showcasing the Ekiti origin, religion, culture, and political struggles from the past to the present. People of the fountain.
According to the national headquarters, Engineer Kayode Ojo was disqualified on the basis that he did not get the required number of nominators across the wards in Ekiti State, in the 16 local governments.
Yeah, that is another lie because if they go around the 16 local governments in Ekiti, they will find that Engineer Kayode Ojo is the most popular candidate, much more popular than the incumbent. So how would they not have enough people nominate? You know, are these the same people that put this same Bawa for second time protesters? Are they the same people that are saying this? You know, how can you believe anything that comes out of them? This is very unfair, and we will not let it stand.
But do you think the reaction from the Kayode Ojo's camp to the disqualification has been sufficient enough to persuade the presidency to intervene?
Well, I am not sure what the relationship is between Engineer Kayode Ojo and the presidency. So it'll be very hard for me to speak on that. I don't know if they have met, what they've discussed. But I feel from the media standpoint, Engineer Kayode Ojo at some point, I felt our campaign should have been a little bit stronger and try to control the narrative. In other words, when those people said, okay, he's been disqualified, whatever, I would have preferred a situation where Engineer Kayode Ojo's camp came out to try and explain exactly what's going on, what the other side is trying to do. And even if they're not going to explain what actions they're going to take, obviously because they don't want to expose their hand, but at least let people know that, hey, this thing that's going on, this some kind of manipulation, catch it immediately and let it, because it kind of gave some people, a little bit of, what's the word? disappointment that, oh man, they're going to snatch this process away from the hands of the people. And for a while, people were confused. They were not sure what was going on or how Engineer Kayode was going to react. But regardless, at the end of the day, the truth always comes out. The truth has come out to how they've tried a few people. When I say a few people, not even more than 5. If you count them, they're not more than 5. They've tried to manipulate the entire process for the state. And we will not let this stand. This is unfair. This is, I mean, for us to sit back and just watch and let them do whatever they want to do is unfair. We won't let it stand. Let the people decide. Let the people decide who they want to be their servant leader, leading them into tomorrow. Don't enforce somebody on them that ultimately is more loyal, if I want to use the word loyal to you, than loyal to the people. That's unfair. If you guys want to go and do it, go and start your own corporation and you can run it the way you want. Ekiti is not a private corporation. Ekiti is a public entity that belongs to all citizens of Ekiti State. And the citizens that it belongs to should have the right to decide who will lead them and what direction they want to go. It's very simple. It's biblical. It's biblical.
There has been a court injunction instituted not by even Engineer Kayode Ojo, by some members of the party who are his supporters. I think about 5 or so, who are contesting the disappearance of their names in the party's register. What do you think about this?
Well, any kind of action is better than no action. I don't know the ambits of the law to know how effective this would be. I mean, we're just hopeful that at the end of the day, there is God, and the truth will side with the honest side, and truth will prevail. And at the end of the day, somehow, some way, the cat will land on its 4 paws rather than on its back. So that's just what I'm hoping. I don't know enough to comment about the injunction and how effective it is. But if there is truly an injunction and these people have ignored the injunction, have just gone out and done whatever, it also shows that they don't respect the law. And are these the same people who want to lead Ekiti State? People that have no respect for the law, you know? That also brings up some other questions about their credibility or their ethical standing, knowing that there's a court injunction, but they're just going to ignore it and do whatever. It's not what we want. Someone that's leading Ekiti to that's not what we want from someone that's going to be leading Ekiti State.
Do you feel strongly about any issue concerning Ekiti and its people?
Ekiti State belongs to us all.
Do you hold any opinion that will advance the cause of the fountain of knowledge?
Contact 070-683-99526. People of the fountain.
We have seen situations where the court has ruled that, someone that even his name was not on the primary became governor. We've had all kinds of instances. I don't know too much of the details, but it's Nigeria, anything can happen. But at the end of the day, it's kind of sad if they won't let democracy resolve this, and we're going to end up in the court. I mean, after all, we all know that Engineer Kayode Fayemi, his first time, it was a court ruling that got him into office. So it's not like it's not happened before. But at the end of the day, I would rather the system work and see us through this process than to be relying on the judiciary, because it's almost like a game of it's playing pool. Going to Nigerian judiciary is like playing pool. You're never assured what answer you're going to get. because it depends on whose judge's desk the case lands and how they've decided to handle it. And let's just hope, by God's grace, there's no interference from within to where it can, manipulate the judgment one way or another. But, at the end of the day, I would have prepared a system where we went through a process and, the best man win. And if Bao wins, and there's a free and fair process, everybody will accept it. But not to let a free and fair process run. I don't know if anybody that's going to get into office without allowing a free and fair process to run and have the audacity to stand in front of people and talk about any kind of, or even stand on any kind of moral ground when you even didn't get there on any kind of moral ground. You got there morally. So I don't know how you're going to be able to govern a state, knowing that it was an illegal process that put you in the end. The people don't want you. So I don't know.
There are those who feel that if Engineer Kayode Ojo is fully shut out of the process of the primaries, that the election of 2026, that is the governorship election, may not augur well. The result may not augur well for the ruling party. What is your own view on this?
Well, I have not really seen any popular opposition apart from Engineer Kayode Ojo. So if they don't let Engineer Kayode Ojo run, there are a couple of scenarios. Engineer Kayode Ojo can still stay with the party and decide not to run. In that scenario, I don't see how the incumbent would not. I mean, if he has the power to manipulate the process against someone that's very popular, very widely accepted, I don't see what will stop him from doing it against somebody that's unpopular. So you can see how that's going to end up. But if it's a situation where General Kayode Ojo decides to go to any other party, I know the people will follow him. But I don't know how that will affect his relationship with the federal government, how that affect his relationship with Chief Alake, for example. I don't know how that will affect his relationship with the presidency, knowing that he went to another party. And then also, I don't know to what extent the current administration has control over the local INEC and all those people. At the end of the day, they are people like us. They are human beings. We know who they are, so we don't know what influence they've had over them over the years and how this is going to turn out. But I think anything short of a free and fair process is not only unfair, it's putting bondage on the people of Ekiti State. And I don't know how the people are going to react. I don't know how the younger folks over there are going to react. With global economy and everything now, everything is on the internet. Even people in Ekiti, they have access to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They see what's going on. I don't think any of those guys, they want to be farmers. I don't think they want to carry cutlass and be going to farm like their parents did or their grandparents. I think they want better opportunities. And I think if this current situation that we have in Ekiti State, where there is no opportunities for people continue, eventually things will burst. And I don't know how it will burst. I don't know how, but there was a time there was rampant kidnapping in Ekiti to a point that a lot of us stopped coming to Ekiti because some of us fairly cannot just afford to come to Ekiti on a private purse with police security, convoy, and all that, just because you're trying to come to Ekiti. So you just stay away. You don't want to get kidnapped. Where a lot of these guys are going to kidnapping because there are no other opportunities for them. They have to eat. So a lot of them are in university. They can barely pay their tuition. On top of that, politicians will come there with stolen money, collect their girlfriend, collect their wives, and all those things. And then you are telling them not to look for other ways to survive. I'm not saying, going into Yahoo, and all that is justified. There's nothing justified about crime. But at the end of the day, when you chase a goat to the wall, the goat has to turn around and face you. And you can't whip somebody with a cane and tell them not to cry. They can't help it. And it takes somebody with vision to see that and realize that, hey, we need to create opportunity for people in this state. We need to create an environment that's not so reliant on government or whoever is in power. A state that can run on its own. A state that's diversified enough to diversify away from, governor didn't get allocation, or so when nobody's getting salary. We need to move away. We need to develop an economy that moves away from that. I don't see that happening right now. And from the things I've heard Engineer Kayode Ojo say from my interactions with him, I know this is a man with vision. This is a man that can take Ekiti State to a greater height. Enough of the press and all the noise and everything over politics and all the negative news. Let's try and do something different. Let's make Ekiti State to a state that maybe most Nigerians want to have a second home. Maybe they want to have a village home, somewhere in the gardens they can be away from the city. Ekiti is quite right for that, but we have to open Ekiti up for that. People have to come to Ekiti and feel safe and feel that some young youth is not going to rob them. Well, if a young youth is well engaged and is doing well and is making money, has no reason to engage in crime and become a kidnapper and rob people. So our politicians need to create this kind of environment, and I don't see that happening right now. It hasn't happened in 3 years. It hasn't happened in the last 8 years. Whoever was there before, it's just we tying road and the same whole garbage you see from you're tying road. What are you supposed to do with the money before? Not tar the road, So I don't understand, but we need to move away from that. Enough of the past. It's insanity to keep repeating the same thing and we're expecting a different result.
People of the fountain,